fans, welcome to another episode of EDW HQ. I am your host, the voice of EDW, Mr. Simon Brown. I am joined by my special guest this episode by the founder of the Players Club, Mr. Templeton Cruise. Mr. Cruise, pleasure to have you here sat alongside me.
The check is cleared, so you're welcome, Simon.
Fantastic. Now, coming off a fantastic EDW Double Trouble back live at the Hive, Edwards defeated Tyler Hazard, retaining his EDW World Championship and reclaiming the belt that was rightfully his in the first place, only at the end of that match to be interrupted by the returning rapid-fire Tommy Gunn, accompanied by yourself,
Damn right,
demanding his rematch from back at the War to settle the score when he actually dropped the championship to Edwards. So, as you've seen at the top of the show, July the 20th, Proving Grounds, Tommy Gunn will face the EDW champion Edwards. That match was authorised by Mr. Tom Campbell.
I need to interrupt you there, so I'm sorry. Authorised by Tom Campbell. It was in Tommy Gunn's contract that he was due a rematch. I mean, he wrestled for 45 minutes with a broken shoulder and dropped the belt to Edwards in an impromptu match at the War to settle the score. I don't think so. Edwards, Proving Ground is the right name, because if you don't beat Tommy Gunn, you'll never go down as a real champion. Make weight, pass the time, paper champion, that's all you are. And as for Campbell, just another example of the dictatorship going awry. You don't even know what's in people's contracts, dude. Sort it out, son. Sort it out.
Speaking of this match, Tommy Gunn versus Edwards, we actually went out to the EDW fans, the EDW faithful, and asked them who they thought would win in a match between Tommy Gunn and Edwards, which we obviously go to see at July 20th at Proving Ground. So let's find out what the EDW fans have to say about who would win this encounter.
Okay.
Edwards, definitely.
Edwards.
Edwards.
Come on, Edwards!
Edwards. It's got to be on Edwards. It's got to be on Edwards, surely. No chance. Gunn's going to win that. I'm going to go for the safe bet. Champ all the way.
Well, that seemed fairly unanimous. EDW fans clearly have a lot of faith in our EDW champion Edwards, and showing that in a one-on-one fight between Tommy Gunn and our EDW world champion, they fully believe that Edwards would come out on top, contrary to what you and the rest of the Players Club may think, Mr. Cruise.
I don't blame the fans per se. At the end of the day, it's just another example of Campbell's manipulation and propaganda, trying to, have you believe what he thinks is the truth. But we all know that's not the case. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the fans think. All that matters is what goes through your champion's mind. Edwards. That charlatan. Because at the end of the day, I don't think he's as confident as the fans are. In fact, Simon, face of EDW, I think you've forgotten I'm the smartest man in the room. Any room. Because I've seen the clip. I've seen the footage. I've heard the words what Edwards has to say, and I know he's not so confident. Now, are you going to show these people what he has to say, or do I have to put it up on my own website?
Let's go for it.
Roll the clip, fat boy.
Tommy, I want you to listen to me. I know you're listening. I know you're watching. You always watch. You always listen when anyone says your name. Whenever your face appears on screen, you're going to be watching it. Why? Because you're that kind of guy. Now that you're back in one piece, you, Tommy, you're gunning for this. And here's the thing. I think I'm ready for you. I won this title in a situation that may not have been your average title win, okay? It was strange, but we were both beat down, we were both beat up, we were both hurt. There was no advantage either side, but listen, a lot of people have said a lot of things, and a lot of things have made me question myself, Tommy. I don't know anymore. Tommy, if I was healthy on that night, if I was fresh, if you were healthy on that night, if you were fresh, would it have been different? I question that. I ask that question every night. I'm not going to lie to you, I ask that question every night. If situations were different, but they weren't. I'm the EDW champion, Tommy, okay? But, come July 20th, at the Hive, me and you, things are going to be different. We're both going to be fresh. We're both going to be good. You're back from injury? Good. I hope you're feeling healthy. Because I'm going to give you everything I got. I'm in the best shape of my life right now, Tommy. And at Proving Ground, I got to prove myself. To you, to everyone else. Because it seems like everyone's expecting me to mow you down here. They don't know Tommy Gunn very well. I know Tommy Gunn. Tommy Gunn's one of the greatest, one of the single greatest professional wrestlers active in the world at this moment. Okay? Tommy Gunn is capable of so much. That's why he was EDW champion, okay? But here's the thing, there are two Tommy Guns. That Tommy Gunn, that great Tommy Gunn, I hope he shows up, and I hope he gives me everything he's got. Because the other Tommy Gunn, the Tommy Gunn we've been seeing with the Players Club recently, that Tommy Gunn, the Tommy Gunn backed up by that Templeton Cruise, and Jamie Future and all these other lackeys, that Tommy Gunn, he doesn't stand a chance, okay? But if the Tommy Gunn turns up who was EDW champion, the Tommy Gunn who is one of the best pure athletes I have seen in my life, if that Tommy Gunn turns up, it could be on the flip of a coin. I think I can do this, Tommy, but I want you to test me. July 20th, Tommy. I prove myself, or I go down in flames.
Welcome back to EDW HQ, guys. Now, the other main event of the double main event back at EDW's Double Trouble was a last man standing match between the infamous Jamie Future and Joey Sanchez, resulting in the most barbaric, brutal thing I've ever witnessed in my time as a ring announcer in EDW. Now, that resulted, obviously, the 3-year rivalry steeped in history between Future and Sanchez, going back and forth, Joey Sanchez finally defeating his nemesis in emphatic fashion in a last man standing match. Now, Jamie Future hasn't been seen or heard from since. What's the situation?
I don't know. It wasn't a wrestling match, last man standing. It was a war of mutually assured destruction. Say what I will about Sanchez, he came out on top, and Jamie was carried out, and I haven't heard from him since. And this kind of happened before. I'm guessing maybe he's, I don't know, resting up his mind and his body and his soul. He'll be back. I'm sure he'll be back. Jamie, one day. He's got our full support, but I think it might be what before we see Jamie Future, to be honest. I just don't know.
Both men took a hell of a beating in that match. Now, the fact that these two names have been intertwined in EDW for a number of years now, 3 years, Jamie Future and Joey Sanchez, the question is raised, what's next for Joey Sanchez? The man to answer that question, or hopefully answer that question, is our roving reporter here at EDW HQ, Mr. Carl Jones. Carl, are you there?
Hi Simon, I'm here.
Great to have you back on EDW HQ.
Thanks for having me back on the show, Simon. It's great to be here as always. If you'll just indulge me for a moment, I would like to offer my sincerest apologies for the way that my appearance on the last show ended. I appreciate the fact that you're here. You allow me onto the show to give insight wherever possible, and not to get into a slanging match with the on-air talent. So I'd like to apologise to you and the viewers of EDW HQ.
So what's the scoop? What's the story about Joey Sanchez? What's next?
Well, Simon, as you know, we're coming off an incredibly eventful show, but arguably the biggest talking point of all coming out of the show was the in-ring return of Joey Sanchez. In a performance that will no doubt prove so many people wrong, Joey was able to overcome Jamie Future in what can only be described as a war of attrition. It really was a physically intense match in which both men gave their absolute all, but Joey on the night just managed to have that little bit extra to come out on top. Now, I have spoken with a few people in the wake of that show, and I can confirm that Joey has had some nagging injuries relating to his knee once again, but the prognosis is pretty good. He's rehabbed almost every day since, and we are expecting a full recovery on that point. I've also spoken in greater detail with a few people within the camp just to gauge the reaction in the wake of that victory. And the impression I'm getting is that there's an overriding sense of relief. Firstly, relief that the knee was able to, for the most part, withstand the rigours of such a physically demanding match. But but also a sense of relief that the battle with Jamie Future is now over. It's been intimated to me by those close to Joey that he feels almost as if the weight of the world has been lifted off his shoulders. They believe that having had to contend with so many bitter personal issues for the better part of the last 2 years, such as the possibility of a forced retirement, which we speculated about in the past, and also the betrayal of his own brother, Tommy Gunn, there's just a sense now that finally, now that the feud with Jamie Future has at least been put to rest, Joey can focus on more positive goals, namely reclaiming the EDW World Championship. Now, this is not to say that everything in the world of Joey Sanchez is fine. I mean, no doubt the issues with his brother Tommy still remain, and you would have to think, with both men pursuing the world title, it's only a matter of time before they cross paths once again. But as I say, those familiar with the situation have told me it's a case of that's another battle for another day. Now is the time to be positive and to get Joey Sanchez's career back on track. And of course, as I say, that means a path towards reclaiming the EDW World Heavyweight Championship. And I can confirm that having spoken with Tom Campbell, the match is done, it's signed, it's all good to go, and Joey Sanchez will begin the first step towards trying to reclaim the EDW World Championship in a one-on-one contest against Carnage, live at the Hive at the show that they've called Proving Ground, and that's on July 20th.
So it's official. Joey Sanchez is looking to get back into the title picture, looking to regain that gold.
Don't you think if he wants to be a champion, he should really join the Players Club? I'm just saying, it makes sense. And as for not being ready to fight Tommy Gunn, you're damn right you're not, you coward.
Whoa, stop right there, Cruise. You, sir, are nothing more than a liar and a cheat. You are the very definition of a charlatan. Through your unscrupulous business dealings and shameful behaviour at ringside, you've managed to position your clients, and I use that term loosely, really they're nothing more than thugs, into championship matches and championship wins that are totally undeserved. Anything in the record books that you've been involved with should come with a damn disclaimer. You're nothing but a fraud, a leech that's sucking on the business. And where you get the nerve, the audacity to question Joey Sanchez's integrity is beyond me. This is a man that has shown such courage and such commitment and pride in his craft and managed to overcome so many odds to return to the ring and be successful. You should be ashamed of yourself. Look, Simon, I'm sorry, I apologise again. I don't want to come on here and rant, but I'd better go before I say something else that I'm going to regret.
Thanks for that, Carl. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. July 20th, Joey Sanchez will meet Carnage one-on-one. Both these guys have been in the title hunt. Joey Sanchez, obviously a former EDW champion. Carnage was very close to taking the belt earlier on in the year against Edwards back in February. These two have got an opportunity to prove to EDW management, to prove to everybody that they deserve to be in the title hunt. Where better to do it? Live back at the Hive, July 20th at EDW's Proving Grounds.
Hello, Mark Morgan. How are you feeling, my friend? How was your shoulder? How was your head? How was your back after that kendo stick shot? Temp swung for the fences, didn't he? He swung right for the fences. Mark, did you really think that you were going to walk into the ring and win this championship belt? Did you honestly think that you were going to do that? Mark Morgan, have you not seen me? Have you not seen the devastation that I've caused in this company? Have you not seen the amount of people I've gone through since the start of the year, since I joined the single greatest faction in wrestling history, the Players Club? Have you not seen what I've done? I've gone through everyone, absolutely everyone, because I am the genocide machine. I am an enforcer. I am a killer. And anyone else in EDW, if you think you've got what it takes to take this belt from me, if you think you've got what it takes to prize this belt from my cold grip, be my guest. Come and have a go. But if you do, you'll fail. And when you fail, you're going to be joining this person that's below me. Yeah.
Every single time I seem to be in an EDW ring, the Players Club somehow like to screw me over. Then I have an opportunity to become the first ever EDW Open Champion. The first ever. I started number 1. I went through the entire gauntlet, the full 20 minutes. I'll tell you this, Players Club, somewhere down the line I'm going to get back in that ring and I am going to guarantee that I will be the next EDW Open Champion.
Let's talk EDW Open Championship now, guys. A new concept brought in by Mr. Thomas Campbell at EDW's Double Trouble. Gauntlet rules. Mark Morgan ran the gauntlet for the entire 20 minutes, put up a tremendous performance, defeated 4 guys, including the likes of Lord Graham Thomas and Davian Vane, only with 6 seconds remaining to be interjected into the match by your boy, the genocide machine, Joey Starr. One thing led to another, a kendo stick shot later on, Joey Starr not really doing a lot of work in that match, and seemingly coming out with EDW Open Championship.
Leave this to me, Simon. Don't you love it? I mean, Tom Campbell creates this title for the boys, the title that if you fight, you work hard, if you want the opportunity, you step up to the plate, you could win, you could be the champion, the EDW Open Champion. So what do? I manipulate it myself and put the title on a guy who no one wants to fight at all, never mind challenge for a title. It was absolutely beautiful. I think it was even on this very show, on this very settee, the last edition of HQ, Tom Campbell's there plugging his idea, saying, "Oh, you know, it's maybe a guy could run the risk of coming in late, and he might not get in the match, but he might get in the match. And if he does get in the match, will he win the title without actually doing a lot of work?" I don't leave things up to the fate. What Tom Campbell dreams of, I make reality. We manipulated the finish. We took out D-Mac. We got him DQ'd. Morgan lying in a pool of his own blood, clutching at his ribs. Joey Starr comes in, kendo stick. Thank you very much. Let's go home with some gold. I loved it. And I just, before you go off on a tangent, I'm going off on a tangent. I want to say this directly to Tom. No, try this to the fans. I mean, we don't always see eye to eye, me and you, the EDW faithful. But I think it's coming pretty obvious now that Tom Campbell is not fit to run this show. I mean, he doesn't know who's got rematch clauses. He creates ideas and then I piss all over him. This guy is a joke. You deserve better. EDW fans deserve better. I've never asked you for anything, but I'm asking you right now. Do you want Tom Campbell as your commissioner? Or do you want someone who makes dreams become reality? Just think about it.
So with regards to who the genocide machine Joey Starr is going to face next in his first title defence of the EDW Open Championship, surely the man who went the entire gauntlet match, saw off 4 guys, should be first in line, and that's Mark Morgan.
Are you kidding me? He lost! When that 20 minutes expired, the last 2 guys in the ring fought to become the champion. Those 2 last guys, whether you like it or not, at the end of the day were Joey Starr and Mark Morgan. Mark Morgan was the last guy to have a shot at that belt. He goes to the back of the line. Joey Starr will fight absolutely anybody in the world. He's not scared of anyone. He's the genocide machine. He will defend the belt against absolutely anyone. Except Mark Morgan.
So I guess the only way to find out who Joey Starr is going to make his first title defence against, guys, is to come down to EDW's Proving Grounds, July the 20th. Don't forget as well, every Open Championship match has a 15-minute time limit.
15 minutes of fame, boys. Let's see what you've got.
Make sure you get down to see that, guys, July 20th at Proving Grounds.
So me and Pete, we started out in EDW as a tag team, and we had some success straight away, but we just weren't seeing eye to eye, man.
So we figured, why not give it one more go? Why not try again?
Yeah, man, I had some success in singles while we were away, man, but I'm more than happy to team up again. For those of you here last month, you'd have seen me and my brother Pete, we were unsuccessful against Posh and Metz, and out of character, Pete started shoving me. I mean, we haven't been the same for a while now, and but I thought we'd put it all behind us. You know, we shook hands, it was fine, the crowd applauded, it was good. I come here today, and Pete isn't here. He wasn't there for the pickup, he no-showed, he's not here at all.
Dynamite Pete Dunne, back in EDW. Where have you been, little brother? I mean, you haven't been here since November, war to settle the score, and you shoved me. The crowd were telling you, slap him, hit him, punch him, and you didn't. It's probably a good idea you didn't, but you didn't. And then you were gone. And every month, I've been getting dropped on my head, and where have you been? I've needed you, and you weren't here for me. And then you come back, and the crowd love you. You've been gone for ages, and they still love you. And what do? You drop me on my head again. And all I keep hearing is that Pete is the better Dunne, and I'm sick of it. All I hear is Pete. He's younger than you. He's better than you. He can do flips. He can do all these crazy moves. And what have I got? My good looks. Because in the end, Pete, all this time apart has made me realise that I don't need you, and I certainly don't need these fans either, telling you to hit me, telling people to drop me on my head, applauding people for dropping me on my beautiful head. Because in the end, I am delicious. I am delicious Damien Dunne, and I'm sick of having to ride on your coattails like you're the better Dunne.
Also at the last EDW show, EDW's Double Trouble, we saw brother versus brother. Pete Dunne versus Damien Dunne. Despite Damien requesting this match, Pete was victorious in the match. Damien, however, had the last laugh, kicking his brother below the belt after the final bell had rung, left him laying in the ring. It's somewhat uncharacteristic of Damien.
Oh, I don't think so. This is not uncharacteristic. I've seen this coming for months. I know I'm the smartest man in the room, but I think other people should have been aware of it too. Damien has been so frustrated at his brother, at the fans, at the way his career has been going as a tag team wrestler and as a singles wrestler elsewhere. I've seen it in his eyes. I watch these things. This is what I do, Simon. Trust me. This has been coming a long time, and I applaud. If these jeans weren't so tight, I'd get up and applaud Damien Dunne for what he did. I salute you, sir. I really do.
Tom Campbell has signed the rematch. July 20th at EDW's Proving Grounds, you will see Pete Dunne versus Damien Dunne one more time. Also at Proving Grounds, the main event, don't forget, Edwards defends his EDW World Championship against the former champion, your boy, the rapid fire Tommy Gunn. See who comes out on top of that. Any closing words from yourself, Mr. Cruise?
Well, actually I do, Simon. I'm going to take my glasses off so that all those people out there in TV land know I'm telling the truth. Give me a second. July 20th, EDW Proving Ground, live at the Hive. I guarantee, I promise, I swear, the world title is coming back to the Players Club. Intent we trust. Take it home, Simon.
EDW title on the line, Edwards takes on the rapid fire Tommy Gunn. You will also see the Open Championship, Tom Campbell's newest creation, defended by Joey Starr against a mystery opponent. Loads of other matches in store for you that night, guys. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic night. 7 PM doors open, 7:30 bell time. We will see you live back at the Hive, July 20th, EDW's Proving Grounds. For myself, Mr. Cruise, you've been watching EDW HQ. Thank you, guys. Take care.